Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back to iAllegedly. I've got a good one for you today because here comes the trouble. People are getting arrested, and it's just the beginning, and it's a beautiful thing. Like, subscribe. Don't forget that we are rebuilding the website right now, and if you want to email me, you have to use the iAllegedly at Gmail address, iAllegedly at gmail.com. Now, let's get right into it. You would have to live under a rock to not see the latest news where uh, in Minnesota there were daycare centers that were, you know, not legitimate, and that people are questioning if there were students and they're getting funding because they're saying that they're in poor communities and they're getting funding from the federal government. Well, people are furious. We're all furious. I mean, I just paid quarterly taxes, and I'm like, it makes you go, well, what am I paying taxes for if they're just giving it to somebody who's a criminal? So, what they've done is they've expanded it to the PPP loans and the EIDL loans. Oh, I've heard of those. Those were during COVID. Well, what they're doing is the people that have had those loans or any subsequent loans in those areas, 7,000 loans is what they started with, freezing the loans. I got to keep looking behind me because I'm on the golf course. It's nice to live in a golf course, but you just don't want to live on this side of it where they can shank the balls into your house or the back of your head. Anyways, they froze these loans. Now you can sit there and go, well, Dan, there's no more PPP or EIDL loans. No, but here's the thing. You don't have access to the SBA. You don't have access to any new funding. If you have funds that were not used during that time, they're frozen. Dun, dun, dun. Now, the beauty of this right now is that it has opened up an investigation into the fact that, wow, maybe these people just lied about everything. So what they're doing is they're investigating loans, and what did they find out? That there are 13,000 loans that are in question in one section of one state alone, and that's Minnesota. So no more grants, no more funding, potential jail time for these people. It's going to be crazy, absolutely crazy. It's going to be very, very satisfying because they're arresting these people right now, left and right. Now, here's the thing about this. This investigation that happened is not, it's not minor. What they've done is they've gone to additional states. The next one's Ohio. Now, doesn't matter if it's a red state, blue state, shenanigan state. What it is that if you've committed fraud and you've lied on your application, let's start with the simple things. If you've gone out and you said you have 15 employees and you have three and the two of them are family members, you're done. You are finished. You have such a huge, huge problem coming your way. You don't know. Now, the immigration status of these people, that's being investigated as well. And if you've hired people that are illegal, because again, what we've heard lately is, wait a second, these people are taking all this funding and uh, they're having a problem. You know what's funny? Let me digress for a second. This little line, I get people that say, hey, you need to walk on that other side of the line. Now, you don't think a golf ball can hit me here? These shank boys? Anyways, I digress. The beauty of this, though, right now is that with my contacts at the SBA, these people, these people are all being investigated right now. And now you can sit there and say, well, I got my PPP loan forgiven. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because here's the one thing that was hidden in that one is that you open yourself up to investigations. And the EIDL loan, that was the worst one. Let's say you even paid the loan off because they were 30-year loans. For the people that paid those loans off, they open themselves up to 3 years after those loans are paid off, they can face the investigations. Now, you can sit there and go, Dan, I didn't get these loans. We all know people that we've seen. I've had people email me. We had people that lie about this. There's a coffee shop here in the city I live in that had 4 employees, and they said they had 60, and they got themselves $340,000. And those broads need to go to jail. I've always said that. Well, now what they're doing, though, is they're reopening that investigation to all these people. Now, do they have anything to worry about this week? Maybe not, but it's coming. And it's coming in such a big way because the rest of us that beat our brains out every single day and pay our taxes are sick of this stuff. We're sick of these liars and criminals getting away with this, and it's over. It's over. It's over. It's such a beautiful, beautiful thing. Now, one thing that the SBA just told me is that, in addition to the funds being frozen, and you've heard about this, every single state, when it comes to the daycare centers, it's very, very simple. I put my kids in a legitimate daycare center that was ran out of a church. Now, what they're going to do is they're going to take their records of the kids, the number of deposits, the checks, things like that they made copies of, that we wrote them every 2 weeks, and they're going to be able to just say, oh, here's that. Do you want to see it? Yeah, okay, you guys are legitimate. Any additional state funds you guys will get, or federal funding you guys will get. But the rest of them, nope, you guys are done. We don't have records of children. Well, it's private. You can't see that. No, again, you don't want to see the children. You want to see a head count. And you want to be able to show that you're justifying meals and you're justifying payments to these people and to these places to pay the staff and things like that. Well, where are your employment records? Where's the staff? We don't have to show you that. That's private. Okay. Okay. Please, please hold your breath, sit back, and enjoy. I promise you this is going to be worth it. It's going to be beautiful because these people are finally getting caught. And you just haven't seen anything yet. There's no new money, no future SBA loans, and no disaster assistance. So even if there was a disaster, if it snowed or if it rained too much, no, you're not getting any more money for these businesses. Wherever fraud exploded, scrutiny is going to follow. And I love that. They told me that. Are they calling the loans in right now? Basically, no. Loans are open. You're allowed to keep your loan open right now. Point is that the loans that are open need to be in good standing. Your business needs to be in good standing. You need to be a good citizen to continue to operate. Are people being investigated? And I love it. Unequivocally, Dan, yes. Oh my God, this is so great. Are individuals being investigated? Will people go to jail? Some already have, but many more will. Oh God, you know how satisfying that is? Do you mind if I get a video little of your dog's boots right there? Do you mind? The little dog's boots. That's funny. That's very funny. So, you know what? With the new administration, you can sit there and you can criticize it. I have my complaints too. But the thing that you can't complain about is nobody wants to see fraud. No one wants to see money and our tax dollars being pissed away in any way, shape, or form. But the beauty of this, oh my God, they're going after everything. There was the restaurant revitalization grants, which I helped people get. And the one thing I would say, listen, do not lie on this form. What do you mean? Well, let's say that you could get more money if you had 40 employees. Don't say that. Don't lie about your revenue, because they're going to match it up someday. Not now, but someday they're going to match it up with your tax return and with your income and with the number of people that you're paying that work there. All these daycare centers, remember one thing, guys, there are quarterly reports for employers. And whether you are a one-man band, one-woman show, or you have 50 or 100 employees, you have to file these forms. And what they're doing, and this is, I'm telling you guys right now, this is a search that is just that simple for the feds to go, hey, tell me how many people matched up with their employees. Now, they can lie and say that they've got XYZ, and then it's a second search, and you want to make sure that if Dan works for the daycare center, that Dan filed a tax return. Oh, bum, bum, bum. Now you're getting technical. No, we're getting real, guys. But they're going to do that in Minnesota. They're going to do it here in California. All this fraud, all this money that's been spent, that has been wrongly given to them. Will it be called in? Yes. We need you to refund this money. Oh, I don't have it. We paid our employees. We paid Dan. please understand we've issued an arrest warrant for you. It's going to be fantasy land. Fantasy land. The best thing is the hotline that's about to be set up. Here's the thing. Hotline is going to go this way. It's not just going to be my ex-wife is a skank and she borrowed a bunch of money and you need to go after her. That's not going to fly. What's her business? How many employees? Where do you think the fraud was committed? How do you think the fraud was committed? Do you have any evidence towards this? No, but I heard her say X, Y, and Z. Now, they're going to ask people questions, but what it's going to do is legitimate complaints where we've talked about, jewelry stores where the guy got, 200 grand and bought himself a Ferrari because he's a cool guy, okay, and didn't give it to the employees. Or, and again, the bad employers that went out and said, listen, we get this PPP money, we're going to give all of you a bonus. My daughter worked for some place like that. Weren't bad people, but the big bonus, $50. $50. It's like a line from Scarface. $50. What do you think we are, dishwashers? Anyways, so beautiful. Get ready. Get ready. If you committed this fraud, and I'm talking to the individuals out there that did, you're done. You are finished. You need to look at talking to a criminal defense attorney, and we talked about this before, about a year and a half, 2 years ago, about people are going to jail. And the problem with this is that you haven't seen anything yet. But this fraud that was instigated by the fraudsters is going to make it so that everybody's going to get looked at. And that's going to be satisfying. For people like you and me that pay our taxes and beat our brains out and work all these different hours, we're going to get the satisfaction of seeing people that were bad, that were laughing at us, and I got 3 loans, man. I don't care. They're done. Now, you've seen this. It's happened, but it's going to get worse and it's going to get real. But these fraudsters, thank you for doing this because it's done. Can't get any more money. Now, again, I'm going to have people that are going to write me and say, Dan, this is terrible. You're going to see people starve and people go out of business. The legitimate businesses that have these records, I've consulted. I help people get PPP loans that ran daycare centers. And they had head counts and they had expenses for food and the rent on the building and everything like that they paid. That was a legitimate business expense, down to the new sign that they purchased. Do you know what I'm saying? So these people that just, I don't need to have kids. Where's the check? I'm going to go on vacation, going to go buy a $2,500 pair of sunglasses. Those people are done. And it's made it so that the rest of the people are going to get scrutinized. If you or anybody you know got one of those loans, I am one of the luckiest people in the world. Got to start this channel. I got denied a PPP loan. An EIDL loan. That's what started. I didn't have a PPP loan. Got denied on my EIDL loan. And I was furious at those jackasses at the SBA. This fraud to start the new year, you're going to see people get arrested very soon. Any headlines that you have locally in your area, we got people from around the country, Iowa, Connecticut, Texas, Florida, all these different places. Don't hesitate to send them in. Okay? Don't forget to look at the new video sharing site, newvideos.com. Don't forget, if you'd like the uncensored content that goes one step further, there is a thing called iAllegedly Live that I love doing that content for you. Sign up at iAllegedly.tv. But it's like Christmas. It really is. It really, really is. People that rub it in people's faces, people that are degenerates, people that have fleeced the system and bragged about it and thought my wife a diamond. All these horrible people are going to get re-scrutinized one more time. But for those of you that have an EIDL loan, one thing in the fine print is you've opened yourself up to an audit, mandatory audit from the Department of Justice on 2 things. If you failed on the loan, if you didn't pay it, you're in trouble. And if you go out and pay it off, you're open to an audit for up to 3 years. Lucky you. Okay? Good luck. Good luck. Okay? Like, subscribe, make good choices, and don't commit PPP fraud with the SBA or EIDL loans or anything fun like that. I'll see you very soon. And again, the bad people, this is just the beginning. They're going to go to jail. Let me know what you think.